Sioux Falls School District Superintendent Jane Stavum says she's proud they were able to make it through the first half of the school year.
It was because of a lot of people's hard work and certainly more difficult for our teachers.
Our democratic ideals are the strength of the nation, but a democracy can be fragile when there are shocks to the system.
The increased polarization in our country has been extraordinarily detrimental.
A second round of the COVID-19 vaccine to frontline workers.
I think that we have a lot to look forward to with getting everybody vaccinated so we can move forward with our lives.
Laverne calls the easing of restrictions a step in the right direction.
We're always hopeful, but the reality is that, this isn't over, and we have a long ways to go still.
Police say they've taken a hard look at the increase in teen gun violence, but they don't see any one reason behind it.
There's not necessarily one thing that just fits everything to explain why we've seen an increase.
Strengthening the heartland is making it a priority to provide opioid education resources in rural communities.
We have reached thousands of Dakotans. We're only hoping to grow and reach more people.
Small investors flex their financial muscle through social media, upsetting the portfolios of large hedge funds.
Look at where this information is coming from. Is the information credible? Look at multiple sources.
A passion able to succeed thanks to a community in KELOLAND full of local support.
Through all the chaos, there was some blessings, and we were able to pivot and find, some good moments during the time.
Rapid City Community Development says the facade loan program is a great way for shops to brighten up their storefront and catch the attention of visitors.
If you're trying to get people to come to downtown, you need a nice place.
The bill would only allow participation in athletic teams and sports based on biological sex.
We want women to have a fair advantage.
We need to let kids participate in sports. That includes transgender people.
A dozen members of the DAV showed up to say thanks to the healthcare workers who have been on the front lines helping veterans during the pandemic.
It's just so honoring that they would take time to tell us thank you when I'm here to serve them.
An executive order halting construction of the pipeline. More than a dozen people from the Black Hills came to share their concerns.
It's hard to talk about the future of community when an opportunity that you thought was going to be there disappears.
The story of legal marijuana in South Dakota continues.
I would fully expect that you're going to see the majority of voters who supported Amendment A come back. Conversations about Black history must go beyond the third Monday of January and the month of February.
American history is for all of us, from all of us, and about all of us. Everyone's voice should be included.
That perfect storm caused Southwest Power Pool to trigger energy emergency alerts.
Emergency 3 means that our demand is higher than our supply.
They're devices with the potential to save lives and keep the community safe.
It's definitely a game changer. It's definitely something that is needed on our team that we can definitely use on multiple different occasions.
Attorney General Jason Rounsberg is facing only misdemeanors in Joe Beaver's death.
I was afraid the charge would be something on the order of crossing the white line, and that's exactly what the charge was.
The South Dakota Department of Transportation calls it one of the largest construction projects in the Highway Department's history.
It's going to improve safety. It's going to improve the economic vitality of this part of the state. This is going to improve people's lives.
Snowcross National is the newest AMSOIL Championship Snowcross event.
It's really fast-paced. It's really, high-flying, action-packed. So it's a really cool event.
Clear support from the Brandon Police Department was unmistakable.
We've had a very good working relationship with city administration and council members. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
The reservation is not in a complete lockdown, but at times they say it feels like it.
We have done as good a job dealing with it as could possibly be expected. We're not messing around.
Deadwood will continue to see a rise in gaming numbers in the next few months and summer.
Whatever it is that we can do to make all of our guests feel more comfortable, we are taking those precautions.
Town Board in Keystone is still planning events for the summer celebration without the fireworks display at Mount Rushmore.
Hope that going forward we can get to a point where we can do it consistently and in a way that also protects our home.
Powder in bags and pills in bottles, just the beginning of what led to the major bust.
Seizures of these size aren't common in Sioux Falls, nor do we ever want them to be common in our area.
There are still too many uncertainties and too many lives that could be lost if we let down our guard too soon.
I think we're out of the woods is premature.
hundreds of people receiving the first dose of the Moderna vaccine in Watertown.
This has been a really long year for all of us, and the only way out of that, back to somewhat normal, is if people get vaccinated.
South Dakota Voices for Peace created flyers with multilingual COVID-19 vaccine information.
We're doing what we can to get that information to the communities that haven't been reached yet.
At Wind Cave National Park, it's good to be back.
It's very nice to be off in person. It's very nice seeing people going and coming out of the cave, being able to show people the seventh longest cave in the world. And this one definitely has a really unique story.
Night snowplow operator Brian Reikema will never forget.
We need more people to notice those in need, their neighbors in need, and step up to do something to help.
Lake Area Tech students are helping people get the COVID-19 vaccine at the Cottington County Extension Complex.
When you're called in the nursing profession, a lot of times you just have to step up when you're needed, where you're needed.
Representative Johnson received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. He plays a role in overcoming COVID-19.
All of the scientists and researchers really deserve a ton of credit.
Every child needs a hero.
It doesn't matter if you're working full-time. It doesn't matter if you're retired. If you think this might be something for you, give us a call.
SDSU sophomore Koala Rope felt the weight lifted upon hearing of the conviction.
It sets a pretty good precedent, officers being held accountable for their actions.
There's so many other people that still need justice.
While most of us were sleeping, scientists and engineers at NASA were holding their breath.
It's like having a whole new world open up. Previously, we've just been looking at the surface of things.
Parker was born with a birth defect that left him with only his right hand.
Early, when he first got here, didn't know how to react or how to handle it. Now, you don't even notice it.
For Rambo, it is difficult being a young transgender person in South Dakota.
We are constantly under attack with these solutions.
Governor Kristi Noem and FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr got a first-hand look at the work recently completed.
This project alone was 500 miles of fiber and connected over 170 locations.
Changes are in the works at Good Samaritan Society's Sioux Falls Center.
Fully vaccinated residents are now able to come together and be together.
And I can see smiles again.
Nathan prepares to leave the hospital with his new set of lungs.
I feel like I need to do something with it. I want to make the donor proud, you know?
There it was, Parker Hansen's prosthetic arm.
I go to dispose of it, and the guy across from me, he was like, wait.
My hands were shaking, I was stuttering, trying to talk. I mean, it was just an exciting time for me.
A tradition that started 70 years ago by the local American Legion. Now it's the McIntyres, led by Neil, who keep that tradition alive.
We've done our own little ceremony for the last 4 years.
Contractors doing projects for the city of Sioux Falls will put up a lot of orange signs and orange cones.
Everything's blocked. It's crazy.
Few pairings connect as well as ice cream with a warm day, and Noah is helping people hit that spot.
He's moving up. I think he's got goals of a fleet of Feldy's ice cream buses.
Howard Bish may be 81 years old, but he's not letting age slow him down.
The more active you are, the better you can enjoy life.
People line the streets in Del Rapids today as part of a Memorial Day parade.
My dad was a World War I vet. It's just to honor them.
In about a year, this space at the Sanford Sports Complex will be home to 18 new outdoor turf fields.
It'll be huge for just the economic growth of this region.
Camp. It's a rite of passage many kids missed last summer.
They're just excited to have their kids back outdoors, being active, being around other kids.
Construction at Mount Rushmore isn't stopping thousands of people from visiting the National Memorial.
I'd love to bring the grandkids because being here is just, you can't explain it.
As downtown Sioux Falls continues developing, more people are moving to the area.
They really get attached to downtown living with all the great restaurants, bars, all the events going on.
High school students will learn about different topics relating to cyber.
So I think it's always good to have a broad understanding of what technology is.
The Lyon County Riverboat Foundation earned naming rights for Mission 7 with a $60,000 grant to Midwest Honor Flight.
We will continue to hear from veterans about how life-changing this one-day trip really is.
When it comes to deciding when to donate blood, the Community Blood Bank says any time is a good time.
It helps out people, so I'm happy to help them.
Performing ballet is no stretch for dancer Rebecca Ford.
It is a huge expression of what it means to be a human being right now.
The legalization of medical marijuana will go into effect in a week.
We want to make this, a safe and responsible program that meets the needs of people across our state and is consistent with what the voters passed.
Robert Reed's road to the St. Francis house includes what he calls some left turns.
If you fight an addiction or mental health, everybody got a future.
The fireworks will start lighting up the sky over the fairgrounds at 10 p.m. on July 4th.
Sunny Radio's doing the show, and she's like, how much is that going to cost? It's like, it's $20,000.
Rainy weather didn't keep people away from Saturday morning's parade.
It's always really overwhelming to see the amount of support that comes out for that.
Chris Nilsson recently became the 2021 U.S. Olympic Trials pole vaulting champion.
It hasn't really hit that I'm going to be fulfilling that kind of childhood dream.
You don't have to read between these lines to see how dry it is in Lyman County.
The White River is a third as wide at this time of year. You can, jump across it about.
Gene Tooley, who is 83, served in the Army and has lived in Sioux Falls for most of his life.
Eugene J. Tooley, please always be reminded of the country's everlasting gratitude for your patriotism and service.
The Hunt for Habitat raffle offers South Dakotans a shot at a truly unique experience.
We've got some awesome hunting opportunities here in South Dakota.
With the increase in motorcycles across the Black Hills, all drivers should be taking extra precaution.
Keep your mind on what you're doing on the highway, not anything else.
Augustina Osabute leads a team working to inspire teenagers considering careers in STEM fields.
Our objective is to mentor and coach teenagers.
For the last 21 years, this stand has been a fundraiser for West Central High School baseball.
The reason we try and do it is because we don't want our kids to have to pay to play baseball.
Vicki is from Sioux Falls and has been going to the rally since she was 13 years old.
The biker family is phenomenal. You'll find no better love and respect anywhere.
For many fairgoers, the food is the main attraction.
You can come every day and you'll find something new to try.
At Dakota Fest, you'll find ag producers from all over the area.
It's invaluable not only for the ag producers, but also the community.
Mayor Paul Tenhaken has a plan he believes will respect the will of the voters.
I want people who have medical cannabis need to have access to that drug.
1,800 runners are preparing to hit the pavement for the Sioux Falls Marathon.
Passion is out there. The people have been training all summer long.
Hyde County State's Attorney Emily Sobel said she understood the court's position on no jail time and offered other options.
We can't redo the past. I know they're frustrated with the process, and to all of them, I am very sorry for the loss that they have endured.
Starting Friday, all of those items and more are competing for your vote as the best pork product downtown.
I love it because it introduces a lot of different restaurants downtown that I've never heard of.
Christina Stensland and her 3 children took shelter from the storm as it rolled through Lyon County Saturday.
Currently, we're just going to try to clean it up and then hopefully rebuild.
The Levitt at the Falls kicked off a new season of free concerts in June this year.
We're really looking forward to people coming out and just helping us put a bow on this beautiful season.
Hours after the towers came down, Chef Don Pintabona knew he had to do something, so he organized a group of elite chefs.
We did it because it was the only thing we could do from the minute this disaster occurred.
Tessa graduated from Lake Area Tech's welding program, and she brought her design to life this summer.
I wanted to show that you can reach for the world, you can reach for your own personal goals.
It's officially tournament week at the Sanford International.
We're just excited to get people out here.
He's mayor now and aims to keep that title.
It's a time right now when I want to step up and lead.
A bygone era where the manufacturing past is clearing the way for a new future.
My grandfather was so proud to see something old being replaced with something so new and good for the city.
Midwest Honor Flight's Lyon County Riverboat Foundation Mission 7 stopped by different memorials around Washington, D.C.
I feel a lot of love for all these veterans.
The International Downtown Association is recognizing downtown Sioux Falls with an award of excellence for this year's Burger Battle.
To be recognized like this is just a phenomenal experience.
People are still wondering about a meeting Noam held with her daughter and the head of the state's appraiser certification program.
It fails what I think people would call a smell test.
Hundreds of pumpkins are grown here at the jail garden in Box Elder.
It's therapeutic to be out here to work with your hands.
Munson says getting vaccinated is, in his opinion, the right thing to do.
The shot is going to do you a ton of good.
The Zomer family of Sioux Falls will make their appearance on Family Feud.
Different than you'd expect from just watching a normal show.
It's the Zomer family!
The Watecha Bowl is unique in offering diners authentic Lakota food.
Every day we're here 7 days a week, pumping out great food.
These firefighters are doing everything they can to get the Auburn fire contained.
Those evacuations could come quick if they need to be.
Chef Lance's on Phillips proved a cut above the competition during the inaugural Downtown Pork Showdown.
We're all really competitive here at Chef Lance's. We wanted to win.
A handful of Vietnam veterans received a special coin and lapel pin as a small token of our appreciation.
It is an opportunity to say thank you and welcome home.
Rasmussen says it doesn't hurt for the museum to have a reputation as one of the most haunted places in South Dakota.
Well, is there something up there where who knows what's going on?
Police surrounded a house as negotiators communicated with a suspect holding a knife.
The goal is for these situations to end peacefully.
Pink in the Rink Night is an annual fundraiser in the fight against cancer.
It's a great night to have some fun as a family, but also raise some money and some awareness.
Just after 3 o'clock Sunday morning, the crash was so violent a neighbor called 911 reporting an explosion.
And then he left on foot. We had officers that were able to find him.
The reality of being so close to flying bullets and the sheer number of rounds being fired isn't something anyone expects in Sioux Falls.
People are going to talk about crime in Sioux Falls. This is still a wonderful place to live.
6 Republicans and 2 Democrats. They will determine if there are any impeachable offenses against Roundsburg.
Folks want to see that we do a thorough and fair job, and that demands transparency.
This ball cage is actually being used for the medical marijuana dispensary lottery.
We are moving closer to finally getting medical cannabis to the patients who need it.
Throughout 2019, investigators searched T. Denny Sanford's phone records and online accounts. Marty Jack Lee said the ultimate fact remains that the investigating authorities have not found information to support criminal charges.
Noam is proposing spending an additional $2 million for pay raises for correctional officers, parole officers, and case managers.
I'm proposing that we use reserve funds to start addressing our prison facility needs.
South Dakota's famous faces turn 80 this year.
We can look back at and remember where we came from, but also don't let that be a boundary for our nation.
The Boys and Girls Club of the Sioux Empire is one of 15 recipients that won free airtime on KELOLAND TV.
We plan on using it is just to continue to educate our community.
Sioux Falls saw nearly 10 inches of snow on Friday.
This snow event was a top 5 for December for a single day event.
The power was a bit unpredictable. Watch what happens as we talk with the manager.
All of our coolers are luckily still on, thank goodness, and anything that isn't on,
On Thursday night, Christmas will arrive at the Cathedral of St. Joseph.
Is an opportunity to remind us of our humanity.
It's the time of year many people reflect on how much they have to be grateful for.
People around the holiday season just feel generous. They want to give back.